Whether you're new to RVing or a seasoned vet, there's a lot of competing and confusing information out there when it comes to flat towing. But at the end of the day, you want to be safe, and there can't be any confusion when it comes to safety. One piece of information you may have seen is the legal requirement that you have a supplemental braking system installed when you're towing. But what you may not know is that this is more than just a box to check so that you don't get a ticket. It's a critical part of that safety we mentioned. So how exactly does an RViBrake keep you safe on the road? Here's Jared, RVi's Vice President of Operations, to answer that for us.
Thanks, Chris. It's a great question. After all, it's hard to feel the true impact of something like a braking system until you're in a panic stop and it's too late. This is the RViBrake's most critical function, taking the weight of your towed vehicle off of your motorhome in a panic stop. Most people don't realize this, but for every 1,000 pounds of towed vehicle you add, your stopping distance can increase by 10 to 20 feet. That extra distance can be the difference between a safe stop and a potentially catastrophic accident. With RViBrake, we eliminate the impact of that weight, proportionally braking in accordance with how much you're braking in the motorhome. RViBrake uses a 3-step process during a braking event: detect, activate, and alert. These steps are happening at a speed that makes them feel simultaneous, allowing for the smoothest and safest experience possible.
That's so cool. Can you break that down a little more for us?
Sure. Detect is the first step. Anytime you decelerate in the RV, there's a change in your inertia. You've probably felt this before when your chest pulls forward during a stop. That's inertia operating on your body. That same inertia is being applied to the towed vehicle. So, when you slow down, the brake is sensing that and then reacting accordingly.
And how does the brake sense that inertia? Do you need a bunch of extra equipment for that?
Actually, no. The brake senses inertia using its internal accelerometer. That's a little computer chip that's used in devices like smartphones and airbags to measure things like where you are in space and how fast you're moving. Using this accelerometer, we can precisely measure the inertial forces operating on the brake at any moment.
Wow, that's awesome. So what about the second step, activate?
Activate is the step where we assess whether or not the brake should activate based on the inertia, then follow through. See, not every braking situation is the same. If you're stopping gently, the inertia pulling your car forward is lessened significantly. Imagine I'm pulling someone who's on a skateboard using a rope. If I run really fast and come to a sudden stop, that person will go flying past me. However, if I run fast and slow down gradually, that person will also slow down at a gradual rate with me. In these gradual instances, your RViBrake doesn't need to activate. In fact, if it did, you'll experience a lot of extra wear and tear on the brake pads of your towed vehicle. We don't want that. So, there will be many stops where you might not feel RViBrake activate at all, but once you cross the inertial threshold, the brake reacts, and reacts quickly.
How quickly are we talking?
RViBrakes can fully actuate in under half a second. This time frame is critical. You see, a panic stop generally only lasts 2 to 3 seconds. Most other braking systems on the market use a slow-acting electric motor, which means it can take a full 2 to 3 seconds to fully extend. That's a problem. Essentially, your braking system isn't fully extended until the damage is done. That's why RViBrakes use an air-driven actuation system. It gives us the ability to fully get on the pedal in a fraction of a second and ensure that you come to a complete and safe stop, no matter the circumstances.
Wow, that's amazing. You mentioned a third step as well.
Yes, alert. Alert is the act of the braking system letting you know what's happening. This is typically done through our monitoring system in the RV. Since the brake is controlled by the accelerometer we talked about, having this monitor isn't critical to its operation, but being able to understand what your brake is doing in real time provides an incredible peace of mind. On your monitor, you'll see our drive mode rings light up anytime that the brake does activate. The number of rings that light up is proportional to the force the brake is applying to your pedal. The harder you stop, the more rings you'll see. Additionally, if the brake ever needs to send you a message, perhaps to let you know that a breakaway has been detected or an error code has occurred, your RVi monitor is how you'll see it.
I've seen a lot of braking systems that use an indicator light. This seems like a much more elegant solution.
It definitely is. And it allows you to do other things on the same screen, such as monitor your tire pressures, see your towed battery voltage, and so much more.
Wow. Detect, activate, and alert. It makes so much sense.
It's all part of our mission here at RVi, to make sure that you're as safe and as stress-free as possible while on the road. We want you to be able to stay focused on making memories, not worrying about getting where you're going in one piece.
You know, that reminds me of the old saying, the journey is the destination.
So true. And no matter where your journey takes you, we want to help you get there. RVI. Happy RVing.